Attention, Star Cadets! Stand by for action! Captain Paxar says prepare to travel time and soar through space while facing the worst villains of the past and the future. Stand by for Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour.
Greetings, Star Cadets. I, Captain Paxar, am speaking to you from the secret headquarters of the Interdimensional Peace Force. Today's special mission is as follows. We will assist the efforts of Rocky Jones, Space Ranger, as he attempts to unravel the mystery of unexplained cold weather on Earth and a traitor to the United Planets. Stand by for action as Rocky Jones faces the Cold Sun, Part 1.
Rocky Jones, Space Ranger. Starring Richard Crane. In The Cold Sun, Chapter 1. This is Rocky Jones in the spaceship XB3, the Silver Moon, calling Space Affairs Headquarters. Come in, Secretary Drake. Rocky Jones in the XB3 calling Mr. Secretary. Come in, please.
Gosh, it's good to be home. A lot of swimming and fishing, huh, Rocky?
Keep talking about it.
I can feel the trout on my line right now. Get out the frying pan, boys. I've got a big one.
Professor Mayberry, you can have your mountain stream, your fish, and your frying pans. I'll take the beach, suntan oil.
Welcome back to Port of Earth, Rocky. We're all clear for your landing. 0422, Mr. Secretary.
How are they down there, Secretary Drake?
Disappointing, Bobby. We haven't snapped out of our cold spell. There goes my fishing trip.
And the beach.
There's someone here you'd like to meet, Rocky.
Rudy, please. This is Rudy DeMarco, the new champion of our Olympic Games. Rocky Jones, my great pleasure. Congratulations, DeMarco. It's quite a record you set in the games.
And in the laboratory, DeMarco. And in the classroom. Excellent.
Gosh, he sure looks like a champ. He looks like the type that would like to go fishing, Vina.
Really? I'll still take the beach.
Stay here where it's warm. I'll meet Rocky and his crew.
Hey, Mr. Secretary?
Oh, thank you, Rudy. No. It'll take more than cold weather to keep me off the landing platform when the Space Ranger returns.
Rocky Jones. The rival I've been waiting for. A friendly rivalry. Don't forget your pose of admiration and humility. Humility is one thing I didn't think you'd ever teach me. Just until we, the so-called minority, are in power, here on Earth and in the United Worlds. You must remember this is the last act of a great play, triumph by tragedy. If you don't do your part well, the tragedy will be ours.
Vina.
Hello, Mr. Secretary.
Professor Mayberry, so glad you're back. Good to be back, sir.
Gosh, what kind of weather is this?
Rocky, so good to have you home.
Hello, Mr. Secretary.
And what a welcome we had planned, but the sun wouldn't cooperate.
Yes, it is funny weather for this time of year. There isn't a wind, clouds, or even a fog. It's just cold.
Well, you know the old saying, all you can do about the weather is complain. Rocky, How would you like to spend your leave?
Right in the Space Ranger gym, sir, working out. These long hops we've been on don't leave you in the best of condition.
Let's go to headquarters where it's warm. I want you to meet Rudy DeMarco and Dr. Reno, the man who's been his tutor.
Good.
Vina, let's go and meet the champ.
You're right, Rocky. There doesn't seem to be an atmospheric explanation for the cold spell. It's as though the sun is just a shining light, nothing more, without heat.
I'm sure you'll agree that this is a gratifying moment. Outside our firmament, but into the Alliance of United Worlds, we welcome a new planet, Herculon.
Mention Herculon, and I think about their Cesar, old man Babaro. It gives me the shivers.
Small wonder, Bobby. But now the Herculons are being wisely led by his daughter, Juliandra, the new suzerain. I have a phototape of her declaration. We'll let her speak for herself. Please.
My dear Secretary Drake, I speak to you as suzerain of Herculon and as your friend. My ambition for a political alliance has been realized. Now I would like to gain a finer understanding between our people. Biffin? Mr. Secretary, this is Biffin Cardoza. We are proud of Biffin and feel that he is symbolic of our plans and ambitions. I would like to send him to Earth, Mr. Secretary. Let him tell you about us. Then let him return to us to teach us more of your way of living. And in exchange, perhaps you have someone you could send who could do the same service on Herculon.
Rudy DeMarco?
Of course, you know my choice, Rocky Jones. But Earth and other planets, even Herculon, need Rocky and the Space Rangers. Biffin Cardoza will do a good job for us. Please, Mr. Secretary, is there someone you could send?
So that's Juliandra.
How's the weather, Professor?
Here and colder. Regretfully, Rocky, I must turn down the chance to visit Herculon.
Oh?
It's the perplexing problem of the sun. I've conferred with several meteorologists. We're all going down to the Mount Townsend Observatory in Australia.
For a closer look. Sunspots, Professor?
From my observatory, there seems to be a violent surface disturbance.
Ruler or no ruler, Juliandra is still a woman.
I agree, Rudy. But even the name Herculon stands for these people's admiration for strength. Let them hear that you're a better man than Rocky Jones, and you'll be in immediate favor.
Don't worry. I'll beat him in a fight.
Good. Juliandra will be impressed. Win her over to our side, and the Herculons will resume war against Drake and the United Worlds.
I'll take care of this little war first.
Rena?
Hi, Rudy.
Bobby?
Dr. Reno?
Hey, Rocky. Hi, Rudy. Dr. Reno. Are you all set for your big moment? Your visit to Herculon's a one-in-a-million opportunity.
Ready and anxious, Rocky. Just give me the word to blast off.
That'll have to come from Secretary Drake. Tomorrow morning, I believe.
Say, you'd like to go a few rounds? Loosen up a bit?
Fine.
Good.
Uh-oh, a lamb to the slaughter.
Your corner, Rudy.
And this is our corner, Rocky.
Will you keep time, Professor?
Certainly, Rocky. Time.
teasing with that mess. Annoy him. Boom, boom, boom. Right in the kisser. Get me?
Bobby.
And keep that Sunday right up here, ready for action. Then bang, bang, zooey. Let him have it. Get me?
Yeah, Gus, I got you.
You shouldn't have taken the gamble. He's making you look silly.
I didn't know he was so tough. I'll get him this time.
Time! One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good, DeMarco.
Real good. Lucky blow, Rocky. He's got a great right.
Hey, Rocky. What happened to our bang, bang, zooey?
I don't know, Bobby.
My regards to Juliandra, Rocky. I wish I could go with you. Be sure to bring back Biffen Cardoza safely. The United Worlds could really get a black eye.
We'll get him here, sir. Switch on blast off synchronizer.
At ease, Star Cadets! Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour will be back in a moment! Stand by for action, Star Cadets! We now return to Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour!
I'm anxious to hear how Professor Mayberry makes out in his argument with the sun.
We'll let you know. Good trip. Hurry back.
It won't be long, sir. Bean and Bobby, secure for blast off. Rudy DeMarco.
Remember the name. Trimby. He's the leader of an underground movement on Herculon. You will work with him.
Trimby.
My very best, Rudy.
Thank you, sir.
And mine, Rudy.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
You'd better get aboard.
Better secure for blast off, DeMarco. I know you're rugged, but none of us are tough enough to stand up during a blast off.
I guess I'm just lucky, Rocky. Lucky to have this chance.
Herculon, DeMarco. Your new home for a while.
What a wonderful moment to live. I'm lucky, Rocky.
We should be able to pick up Herculon headquarters. Vina, Bobby, forward, please.
Look, Vina. Herculon headquarters. It gives me the willies. I can't forget when Barbara was ruling Suzar.
Yes, Bobby, but it looks different somehow. Like it's warm inside. And with a welcome mat now that Juliandra's in power.
Herculon headquarters to unknown spaceship. Come in and identify.
This is spaceship XV3, the Silver Moon from Earth, on mission to Juliandra. Rocky Jones in command.
Rocky Jones, of course. Juliandra has been expecting you. Stand by.
My suzerain, Rocky Jones, has arrived.
Rocky, I've been so anxious to see you.
May I present Rudy DeMarco, your hostess, Rudy, Juliandra, suzerain of Herculon.
My honor, Juliandra.
My pleasure, and welcome, Rudy. Biffin, please. Rudy DeMarco, this is my exchange visitor, Biffin Cardoza. And this is Rocky Jones, commander of the spaceship Silver Moon, Vina Ray, and Bobby.
Hello.
Hi. Set your controls on free flight, Rocky. We'll bring you in.
Thank you, Juliandra.
Biffin, you better get ready to greet our visitors.
I will.
Well.
Secure for landing.
What was that name again? It's hard to remember.
It's simple, Vina. Just use word association. Think of a Biffin and Noza and say Biffin Cardoza.
Of course, Bobby. Thanks. Biffin and Noza.
Rocky Jones on relay to Earth headquarters of Space Affairs. Come in, Secretary Drake. Secretary Drake, can you hear me?
Rocky. Yes, Rocky. I can hear you faintly.
Mr. Secretary, you'll have to speak louder.
I'm practically shouting, Rocky. Our technicians are at a loss. This interference is steadily growing worse.
Arrived on schedule. That's the important message.
Even the communications that circle the Earth are affected, Rocky. I expect Professor Mayberry back tomorrow, but I can't be certain. Negative on reception, Rocky. Try to establish a relay tonight through Space Station OW9. It's useless to try anymore. But I can tell you that Rudy DeMarco arrived safely, and that's about all.
Something wrong with our communications, Rocky?
No, Juliandra. Relay's clear. We hit the Space Ranger band.
We haven't been introduced. My name is Trimby.
Over your shivers, Bobby? Don't you feel a change here on Herculon?
Truthfully, Vina, it all seems about the same. Hi! Remember us, Vina and Bobby? We met over Visiograph.
Oh, of course, Bobby, Miss Ray.
It's nice to know you, Biffin and Noza.
No, Vina. You just think that, but you say Biffin Cardoza. We'll be together for a long time. May we just call you Biff?
Biff. Yes, I like that.
Come on, Biff. We'll show you Rocky's new spaceship, the Silver Moon. It's a sister ship of the Orbit Jet.
What about this, Biffin Cardoza, Juliandra's pet?
Pet is right. He and his father always preached for an alliance with the United Worlds, even when old Barbaro was against it.
What about the people of Herculon?
Like wheat in the field. They bend the way the wind blows. They were for war whenever Barbaro decreed it.
What if there was an act that could be called aggression on the part of the United Worlds? If something happened to Rocky Jones, Secretary Drake would send a force to investigate. It could be the spark you need.
It can be arranged. I'll take care of it. I was showing our guest your office, Juliandra. Here, Vina. You will write a note to Rocky Jones. Rocky, I have been kidnapped. Abenox DePandro. Come at once. Sign it, Vina. Rocky Jones?
Yes.
I was asked to give you this.
Oh, thank you. Vina! Oh, Vina!
I hear you like the name. Yeah, Rocky. Oh, glad to see you. Flip.
My apologies, Rocky. This is the last thing I wanted to happen. I guarantee Vina will be found and returned unharmed.
Rocky, look what I've got here.
Vina!
I went to her room, and there she was, sound asleep.
Yes, but why wake a girl up? What happened? What's going on?
Well, I can tell you one thing. If it was a dream, I was in it.
And, Professor, you claim that all this communication interference is due to the sun?
Without a doubt, Mr. Secretary. We know that sunspots have caused a static condition in the air. We've always been able to control this interference with our astrophones and visiographs, but not now.
But, Professor, communication is the lifeline of United Worlds. We can't know what's happening. Any one of our planets is subject to attack, and we couldn't help. We wouldn't know.
And if the disturbance on the sun continues, we can't even communicate with the points on Earth beyond the reach of a cable.
Why, that takes us back to the 19th century.
We can only hope we don't go back farther than that, to an ice age. The Earth would become one huge frozen mass.
Clark, are you sure you get a clear signal relayed to you from here?
I'm reading you loud and clear here on Space Station OW9.
Then try to relay me through to Earth. Secretary Drake asked me to check communications with him during the night.
I've been trying to get through to Secretary Drake for the last 6 hours.
And no luck, huh?
None.
Clark, what's your explanation for this?
I wish I knew, Rocky.
All right, Clark. Thanks. Out. Well, it's just as if our communication system was bottled up in a big vacuum.
Well done, Star Cadets! The first phase of our mission was a rousing success! Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour will be back in a moment!
Welcome back, Star Cadets. I, Captain Paxar, will now brief you on the second phase of our special mission. Rocky Jones, Space Ranger, faces treachery on the moon Herculon as the Earth grows colder and the sun's activity jams interplanetary communications. stand by for action as Rocky Jones stands beneath the cold sun, Part 2.
Rocky Jones, Space Ranger. Starring Richard Crane. In The Cold Sun, Chapter 2. When we last saw Rocky Jones, he was on the moon Herculon, where Juliandra, the ruler, is anxious for a friendly alliance with the United Worlds. While on Earth, the growing coldness of the sun was of great concern to Professor Mayberry.
Your coat, Professor Mayberry.
Oh, I'll keep it on for the moment. It feels good.
Any news, Professor?
The barometer reads no signs of rain. This is good, or we would have a heavy snow.
Other parts of the world aren't so fortunate. I was about to project the phototape of today's news. Won't you join me? Of course, we know about the weather. I'm anxious to see the reaction of the people.
The big news is still the weather. The worldwide cold spell continuing unabated. A rather happy, philosophical view can be taken of this unusual weather. Petty grievances and international disputes have been forgotten. Nations are shouting cheerfully, "How do you like the weather, neighbor?" The world over, the situation is being greeted as a welcome holiday. In certain parts of our globe, children and even adults are seeing snow for the first time. But personally, I'll be glad to feel the sun again.
And how I would like to feel the sun again.
The people of Earth are wonderful. But how would they act if they knew the snows were possibly forerunners of a glacial age? Dr. Reno...
You were going someplace, Reno? Why, yes. To the city for a few things.
But there is an order posted. But no one's to leave the area of Space Affairs headquarters.
Here, Mr. Secretary, please.
Thank you.
Did that include me? I'm a civilian, Mr. Secretary.
The order was posted for you more than any other. The true state of the sun is known only to us here and the scientists who have worked with Professor Mayberry. This is top security. Inadvertently, perhaps, you might release the news.
Why not? Why not shout it, the sun is going cold? The fools! Can't they feel it, see it for themselves? Why let them go on laughing? Tell them how ice will bury their cities.
I prefer to wait and hope until the last possible moment.
The tragic hypocrisy of Drake and the Space Rangers. That's the way history will be written in another land, under another sun. Or perhaps you and a chosen few will be there to temper the words. Mr. Secretary.
Is that a spaceship, Biff?
Oh, yes, Lena. It's one of our new XY-27s.
She sure got plenty of get up and go.
Well, tell her to go away. I can't hear myself purr.
Just wait till you ride with Rocky in his new spaceship to Silver Moon.
Oh, that's for me, Bobby.
So you call the sun Una?
Yes, that means the one thing, the all-important. Many years ago here on Herculon, it was considered a deity.
Savages on Earth thought the same thing, Biff. They were called sun worshippers. They made sacrifices to it. Well, of course they were wrong, but they were sure right in knowing how important it was.
Biff?
Rocky?
Bobby? How would you like to go back to Earth?
You mean the cold spell there is over?
Well, I'm not sure.
The communications are still jammed. The plan now is to leave on the Silver Moon sooner than intended.
I'll beat Biff to saying it. That's for me.
Please, Rudy, just a word to Rocky or Vina. Just a whisper, Rudy. May I?
I wish we could, Juliandra. But Secretary Drake should be the first to know. We'll let Rocky be our messenger with this historically important document. Huh?
Say another word besides document, Rudy.
After blastoff and when you regain consciousness, Biff, you'll handle communications until we're out of the Herculon band.
Oh, yes, Rocky. Yes, sir.
You look real fine sitting there, Biff.
Thanks, Vina.
Yeah, on you the silver moon looks good.
Vina, Bobby.
Okay, we know.
Secure for blast off.
How will Dr. Reno feel about Rocky Jones getting back to Earth safely?
He'll boil inside. But not after Secretary Drake reads a letter from Juliandra.
Ah, gentlemen, come close to the sun and get warm.
Those are fine scale replicas, Professor.
Yes, the sun as it used to stand. I have even scaled the degrees of heat and energy. Now we can say that this model represents a temperature of 10,800 degrees Fahrenheit and an internal temperature of 6 million degrees plus, so that the Earth received her approximate 1/2 billionth of this energy. The violent storms on the sun have always caused interference with our wireless communication, but never with our temperature before. But gentlemen, this is the sun of today.
Very interesting, Professor, but what do you propose to do about it?
My observations first led me to believe that there was some surrounding disturbance, more violent than ever before, that was acting as a sort of shroud to the sun's heat. But now I am certain that some sort of reaction has spread over the surface, and, hot as this in itself may be, it has solidified to a point where the great internal heat has been contained, like a blanket over a campfire, Mr. Secretary.
Again, I say, very interesting.
We'll stoke the fire and let the flames burst through and destroy the blanket. And this is where I need your help, Dr. Reno. Look, gentlemen. This is Mercury, the planet nearest the sun. And this is Taurida, her newly discovered moon. With the sun cool, I'm sure that space rangers could land, and we must design them totanic missiles to bombard the sun. 2 missiles will start a chain reaction and force the sun to recreate its heat. Here and here.
But 2 missiles would be all that a spaceship could carry. By your own scale, Professor, hitting the sun at that distance would be 1,000 to 1 shot.
I contradict. Our missiles will be drawn to their target by the sun's gravitational pull.
That's right.
It's up to your space rangers to get the missiles to Taurida.
Rocky Jones in the XV3. This is Rocky Jones in the spaceship Silver Moon, calling Space Ranger Band. Can you hear me? Repeat. Can you hear me? This is Rocky Jones. Well, flying without visiograph is bad enough, Biff. But now with the astrophone failing, it looks like our hop will have to be in the sound blind. Now we get a slight image bounce on radar, Vex. That gives us one rather weak eye.
Where's our first stop, Rocky?
There's only one till we reach Earth. Space Station OW9. Perhaps Clark can explain this communication interference.
Space Station OW9, can you hear me? Clark to Space Ranger Service. An outlaw raiding party has landed. I can't hold out. If you can hear me, send help. OW9, repeat. If you can hear me, send help on OW9, repeat. Help on OW9.
You spoke like a pirate and just as useless. Oh, shut up. You locked the door against Pinto Rotundo, silly boy. There's one big mistake to get Pinto Rotundo angry.
Pinto Rotundo, the brave warrior. Brave only got 2 bodyguards.
Not so. I don't need them. So, you want to fight with Pinto?
Sure.
Idiots! Idiots! Hold it!
We have a job to be done. Instruments first.
Load everything of value into the spaceship. This squawk that fills space is Pinto's fine friend. Space Rangers don't know what happens till it's too late. Pinto will not kill you with this. One shot to the gyrocentrifugal control, you're going to fine, bouncy ride. Maybe your friend Rocky Jones can get here in time to save you, no? Yes? No.
Pinto,
Get in the spaceship. Pinto will be with you in 1 fast minute.
At ease, Star Cadets! Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour will be back in a moment! Stand by for action, Star Cadets! We now return to Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour!
It's faint, sir, but there's an object ahead at 270 degrees.
Good. Even though we can't communicate, let's hope that Clark can bring us in with the landing magnet.
Rocky, the image is now 280 degrees. Did you change course?
Why no?
The object is bobbing, sir. 290 on the scope. And now 270 again.
Rocky, is something wrong with OW9's gyrocentrifugal?
According to the image reading, yes, Fina. Secure, alert, Bobby. The gyrocentrifugal stabilizes the space station. That bobbing can mean only one thing. Try for a blind stab at the landing berth. Correct side slips. Call out high and low readings.
Correct right. Hold. There, Rocky, image 270. Correct right, sir. Hold. Dropping from center 265 degrees.
Sharper calls, Biff. I'll try to ram at 270 degrees. Biff, stay at the ready while I go after Clark.
I never thought we could do it, Rocky.
I'll be right back.
Hi, Rocky. Pinto Rotundo. He's on a looting spree.
Want you to leave
Froggy. We better get the Silver Moon on the landing ground. The horse is destroyed with the space station.
Gosh, Clark, you sure must have taken to bouncing around on the space station.
Well, believe me, Bobby, I'll never play ping pong again. I know how the ball feels.
What have you heard about the communications being jammed?
Well, it's not much, Vina. There was a Space Ranger ship in OW9, but it was in and out fast for refuel and on its way. You see, Secretary Drake has his Space Rangers working in relays. He's trying to keep some kind of communication open between the planets.
Sort of like Pony Express riders carrying the mail, huh, Clark?
Exactly, Bobby. Now, what we need is a telegraph that'll work.
Alert! Learn this. We now have image on radar vex. Approaching the challenge. Secure for possible action.
Pinto or Tondo.
Near parallel with the flight of the image, sir. Do you think it's a spaceship, Rocky?
Well, I can't be sure. I've chased meteors before when the visiograph wasn't working.
Peter Vartato's becoming a very rich man. I think Peter will buy a moon, all of his own.
Prepare to fire 2 missiles on a 5-count, Biff. Explosives set for directly in path of image. Ready?
Ready, sir.
Fire one.
Fire one.
Who is it who shoots at Peter Vartato? Who is it who shoots at Peter?
Prepare to fire a 3rd missile, Biff. Explosives off, but shock object with direct hit.
Ready, sir.
Fire! Who is it who shoots at Peter Vartato? Who is it who shoots at Peter Vartato?
It's a spaceship, all right. A meteor wouldn't have broken its flight pattern. Set magnet, Biff. We'll lock alongside and board.
Yes, sir.
Surrenders to superior forces.
Get overboard the ship, Biff.
He and I have built the Titanic missiles. Now it's the job of your Rangers to get them to Tarita. We'll need 2 spaceships.
We're holding one now for overhaul. It'll be ready in a day or 2.
And the other ship?
I've decided to wait for Rocky Jones.
Rocky Jones? But he's not coming back. I mean, he doesn't know and you can't communicate with him. There isn't time to wait.
Without knowing what's going on, Rocky will come back sooner than scheduled. Mayberry and I agree that Rocky is the man to head the lead ship. If waiting causes a delay, he will make up for it.
Mr. Secretary, the Space Ranger ship is landing.
Mr. Secretary, send his ship off to Tarita. There isn't time to wait.
It's the Silver Moon, Rocky's ship. Rocky, I've never been so glad to see you.
Hello, Mr. Secretary. Professor. I have a rather strange cargo aboard, sir. Bobby, Vina, come on out. Kurt beside the platform.
Secretary, Professor.
This is Biff, sir. Biff and Cardoza, our exchange visitor.
Mr. Secretary. Biffin.
Credentials later, sir. All right, come on up. Fast. Go on. Move along. Get going. Prisoners, Mr. Secretary. Our old friend Pinto Bertando and two of his men. They were raiding and destroying space stations.
Clark.
Mr. Secretary, well, it's great to be back on Earth, but it sure is cold.
Rocky, destination, Torrida. And your mission, the bombardment of the sun.
Well, Torrida's one place I never expected to go.
Hot stuff, Rocky.
What about Herculon, Rocky? Has their climate changed?
No, not at all, sir.
They're under another sun. That's proof that I'm right. Don't you agree, Reno?
Oh, yes. Yes, Professor. How did you leave my protege, Rudy DeMarco, Rocky?
No, he was fine, Dr. Reno. Oh, by the way, Juliandra sent this. She asked it to be opened immediately upon my arrival.
Dear Mr. Secretary, I am sure you will share my joys and plans for the future. It is better for my people that a suzerain rules instead of a suzerain. And now there will be one. I am relinquishing my rule. Rocky, Juliandra and Rudy DeMarco are going to be married.
And he's going to be the suzerain of Herculon, the ruler.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Now, the boys are finishing repair on the structure. And I've got a new name for the Silver Moon. Patches.
Uh-oh, the boss.
Well, how's the boring crew doing?
Fine, Rocky. Clark's been kidding. He says now that the new section is welded on, there isn't any of the original Silver Moon left. Or is he kidding?
A factual declaration, Vina. But she wears her battle scars well.
All checked and ready with the XB-9, Mr. Secretary. Titanic missiles secured.
We find it necessary to remove more equipment and instruments than anticipated. Rocky, Bobby and I will carry on here with the XB-9 if you want to work on your ship.
Very good, Professor.
The XB-9 will blast off at dawn, taking a head start on your faster ship, the Silver Moon, Rocky. You will rendezvous on Torrida. We must hope that both spaceships get through to fire their missiles into the sun. Professor Mayberry, Reno, and I will sweat it out here on Earth until you get back.
Be with us next week, same time, same station, when we again take you into outer space for further adventures with Rocky Jones, Space Ranger.
Attention, Star Cadets! We will conclude our Rocky Jones mission next week. The captain will debrief you in a moment when Captain Paxar's Star Cadet Hour returns.
Mission accomplished, Star Cadets. You've all served with valor and honor. Rocky Jones, Space Ranger, and I, Captain Paxar of the Interdimensional Peace Force, salute you. You may now stand down until we meet again at the appointed time coordinates, when we will again undertake a daring mission through time, space, and alternate dimensions. Until then, Star Cadets, always remember, keep the peace.